My name's Melissa,
And I'm Rhonda.
and together we are MaverickRx.
And guess what?
She found her hat, guys.
I found my hat.
Great news.
It's it was like it wasn't like I fit in the chair the last couple days. I know it sounds crazy, but
It's difficult to lose things that are important to us, Rhonda.
yeah.
I understand that. Okay, so Cal's rash is
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what today does. Last night it came back. I mean, I said as soon as you start to feel any itches, let me know and we'll give you the medicine right away so we kind of stay ahead of it.
Uh-huh.
But that was too late. So I mean, he just like we were outside playing, and he's like, I have it, my belly kind of itches. So I ran in, got his medicine, and then, good morning, Aaron.
Hello, Erin.
Yeah, so I am switching him today to Zyrtec in the morning and the nose spray, and then at bedtime he can have Benadryl allergy. So I'm hoping that that'll help because man, I tell you what, the kid is so uncomfortable. I just feel so bad for them when
That's
they have
awful.
allergies. It's just
Yeah.
your kids home? Aaron, are your kids home?
How's the puppy?
As a puppy, how was their weekend? Um, so
You want me to share this link live?
oh, that's a good idea.
Um, yeah, so I tackled windows yesterday. Well,
How many did you do?
huh?
How many did you do?
I only did 2 in the slider,
Oh,
and it took me 2.5 hours.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I hate doing windows. Um, because I go through and I clean the blinds. I go like slat by slat,
Yeah.
and I clean the sill
Mhm.
inside outside.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. And the one window was so gross. The sill was so muddy. It took forever. Um, so I just, oh God, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. But I'm like looking at my house. I'm like, I got a lot more windows to do. I haven't even put the valances back up. I took them down and washed them and stuff. So that was my day yesterday. Was like done with this, and then I did a little bit of laundry and stuff, and then it's an exciting day. I
Mhm.
went for a walk with my dog, and Angelina, and then I then went for a run after I dropped them off. Came home, did a little bit of weights. Oh, Dr. Chris is calling me right now.
Okay, tell him I sent him a link.
Hello?
There he is. Oops.
I'm good. How are you?
Is he okay?
You're on video preview. So yeah, you just click on the link where it says Zoom meeting or something. It's like,
I'm going to mute her so you don't have to listen to her tell someone how to get on Zoom. While it is entertaining sometimes to watch people try and figure out how to get on Zoom, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like, let's just wait. Let's just wait it out till she's got it figured out. Chris will be coming on. Oh, see, there he is. Look at that. There's Dr. Chris.
hey. Hello, Chris.
Good morning.
Is your audio on? Oh, hit the computer audio. Can you hear us?
No, you can't. Well, I think you can, but
Is it in the bottom left-hand corner there?
mute is in the bottom left-hand corner. You gotta like hover over it. This is my favorite thing about Zoom. Watching someone start Zoom is
there we go. Perfect. I can finally hear you. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
How are you?
Hello.
I'm doing good. How about you? Good morning.
Morning. You're
Morning.
probably already seeing patients normally, aren't you?
At this time, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, today we chose to take off Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Yeah.
And then we shortened our hours Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah.
So you're 10 to 3.
Yeah, so 10 to 3 o'clock is what we're doing right now.
Okay.
Is this lighting too much, or should I sit somewhere else?
If you turned around and it was facing your face, that might be better.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You
Or,
want the light on your face, not behind you. So that's true.
okay.
Or you could close the curtains, I suppose,
Yeah,
but
we'll
I
just
don't
go
think
down.
we'll be able to see you at all. You need to send people lights. I'm gonna
Yikes.
yeah, no, that's kind of dark. It'll take a minute. Look at my cup.
What do you got there? Oh, Destin, little year ago memories.
This is the first year cup. The second
Yeah,
year,
that's 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Mhm.
What's this cup? Why?
So a year ago, well, 2 years ago, we went with Bahonic. We've gone to Destin with Bahonic and her kids, Melissa and her kids, and me
That's
and my
right.
kids.
Mhm.
And we road trip down there.
Yeah, so
And we had planned to go this year, but actually nothing was working out for anyone's schedules. So we were like, it's not going to work. Francesca had a dance thing. Lisa had something. Melissa had something. So ironically,
Mhm.
it wasn't working for any of us. And then this happened. So we wouldn't have been able to go anyway.
I had a couple of patients that were looking to go down to Mexico, and they were hoping to get stuck down there. They're like, yes, this could happen. Whoops, bummer. Then they ended up hearing that, oh, things were closed, and yeah, the border, sorry. Yeah, hilarious.
How's the sheltering in place treating your family, your little ones?
Yeah, you know what? It's going well. I mean, my wife's the one who's pretty much going ahead, because with me still working, I mean, it's nice that I'm home a lot more often now, so that is really cool because I'm able to spend more time with them, which has been so awesome. Seeing the little quirks that it's been great. But yeah, just them being at the house, I know they get cabin fever, especially my wife too. So they've been going out and doing some walks here and there, and just staying active. I mean, we got so much. We have a 1 and a 2-year-old. We got all the toys in the world. You know what I mean? It just.
I remember the days.
You got like a whole area dedicated just to them. Like they have our whole living room, and it's like this over here.
I know.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Now with today's topic specifically, are we talking about, Rhonda? I know you and I talked about in the past, like anxiety, stress, kind of coping with things.
Yeah, I was thinking if you could touch on what's going on at your office and how that's going on with your patients, and and if you have it, and if because you said you were kind of seeing that with some of your patients.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you're seeing that people are more anxious than normal.
More what?
Anxious than normal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone's, for the most part, everyone's stress or anxiety is a little heightened more than before. Unfortunately, for those that it's been heightened from the beginning, it's really bad for them. So, I think those people need to seek obviously a little more help than anything I can give them. But I mean, fortunately, we have Dr. Mike in the office, and Dr. Mike, he's just been nonstop. So he's been very, very busy since kind of the whole turn of coronavirus, even coming this way. I mean, when Plainfield had 6 diagnoses just the other day, more and more people, it's like, oh, do I want to go outside? Should I not be breathing? Like what?
I know. It really does. Like, I know my parents, I think my parents care for my 93-year-old grandfather and 92-year-old grandma. So they still have to kind of run for them. And my grandfather has been having his dementia has been really bad lately. And so they've been having to kind of run around with them for them. And I know my mom is it's like each day as it comes closer, I think you hear closer to home things happening. So, my dad's 73. So it's like, and my dad's running around like always running to, I'm like, Dad, you got to stop running to the stores.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, and the same thing like with my parents too, you know. I mean, being in their mid upper 60s, like you're saying, you want them to go ahead and be as safe as possible. So like trying to encourage them to stay home, right? It's a challenge because nobody wants to be stuck at the house by any means, right? You got to do something. So
No, I think we need to change the language to saying we're just safe at home. We're not stuck at home.
that's right. No, I agree.
At home, right?
We aren't stuck here. There are things you can do. You can still do some normal things, but the other thing I don't like, I was telling Rhonda yesterday, is when people call this the new normal.
Ooh.
Yes.
This is not normal, nor is it.
I'm with you.
You know,
that is like so, because there's nothing normal about this.
Nothing normal. It certainly isn't something that I want to be our future, you know? So I want people to stop calling it our new normal.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, that's so
not,
true.
It's not new and normal.
It's not our new normal. Yeah, not at all.
No, it's temporary, crappy situation.
There we go. Oh gosh.
So
the title of this is Coffee
Clutch.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yep.
Brought my mug.
Good morning.
Yes.
Meredith just signed on.
Oh yeah.
And Grandma.
Meredith.
Oh, she said that Meredith stopped by your office yesterday to make appointments for herself and Sophia.
Oh, great. Yes. Actually, you know what? I did get to see her. Okay. Yes. Oh, so good.
That's good.
Meredith is my cousin.
What? Oh my gosh.
But she didn't know that until Facebook.
Really?
Yeah. They realized they were cousins through Facebook.
That's amazing. Yeah. So I was treating, this is the craziest thing. You ready for this? So some patients that were born and raised in the area, I go ahead and I ask them the question. I'm like, hey, do you know this last name, Rusinellis? Because my family, from Greece, they came here. Train broke down in Joliet, so we're
going to set up a farm
in the ground, and all of a sudden they're in Joliet, right? And so with that being said, I'm treating this patient, and I'm like, I'm asking this question, and she's like, yeah. She's like, actually, I do know that name really well because I'm a Honiotis, and I'm like, oh, what? I'm like, these Honiotises, they're all my cousins too. So it's like, holy cow, treating people that I don't even know that are my relatives. I'm like, this is small world, obviously. Yeah.
Especially for the Rusinellis family here in Plainfield.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You guys are everywhere. Hey, you know what I've never understood? What does your brother do at the practice?
Yeah, so let me explain that. So Dr. Mike, he's a naturopathic doctor, which here in the Midwest is not as common. Mm-hmm. You go to the West Coast, they have very similar licensure, almost as an MD. They have prescription rights, but your naturopathic doctor typically will go ahead and they'll do more natural medicine. Okay. Mm-hmm. They're not going to go ahead and give you drugs if you don't need it. And so that's ultimately, that's what's nice about having him at the office, mm-hmm. is that everything he's doing is all natural. I mean, yeah. Supplements, herbals, botanicals, but that's not the main thing. The main thing he does is called biofeedback, which is huge right now. I mean, huge. And I say that because all the anxiety, all the stress people have, mm-hmm. with him having this ability to be able to go ahead and be able to hook people up to a machine that he has that will go ahead and check not just your respiration, not just your pulse, but he's able to look at all these different parameters and see what your baseline is. And then from there, train your brain and yourself how to go ahead and keep yourself at where normal is rather than you being heightened all the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So he sees a lot. I mean, for how young he is coming out of school, he's about almost a year and a half out, somewhere around there. And he's been at my office since he's been practicing. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's doing very well because it's a very good niche here. I mean, there's no other professional like him in our area. And so because of that, he's doing really well. And the best part is he's getting results. I mean, these patients are saying and telling him, wow, this is much better than seeing my psychiatrist or my psychologist. And so, I mean, he's getting a lot of great compliments and he's doing a really good job. So he's getting a lot of following because of that. So,
So explain, so he people with anxiety, mm-hmm. How does he treat it then? So he measures it, and then how does he treat that?
So basically, with what he's able to go ahead and do is with the machine that he has, he looks at all these, like I said, different parameters and kind of seeing exactly where's your baseline first, right?
Mhm.
So when he gives you certain situations, give me your most stressful situation, and you'll go ahead, you'll think about it. You'll see, you know, that your blood pressure go up, right?
Uh-huh.
And so from there, he's going to go ahead and he's going to help train you to be able to train you to go ahead and help bring that down, be able to help bring any type of anxiety, whatever gives you the anxiety, whatever that trigger is,
Mhm.
he's going to be able to train you to help combat that. So it's definitely something that I got to tell you, I knew very little about. I mean, I knew breathing in general. That's something I'm going to talk about too today is, you know, is respiration. But I mean, for him, it's to a whole new level. And yeah, I mean, he's going to go really far with it. He's probably going to be, I know he's a lot more techier than I am. And so the whole online, I mean, he's actually going to start having online classes, like large online classes for patients to be able to take advantage of. And I don't have that information with me today, but I mean, that's something him and I just talked about a couple of days ago. With how well he's doing, he can get a broader base if he's able to go ahead and help, obviously, larger number of people with stress and anxiety. I mean, unfortunately, it's such a big topic now. I mean, look at all these kids. Look at all these kids with anxiety and depression, and it's just it's skyrocketed. I mean,
and I think it's fast.
This situation has made an exponential growth, I think, in children's anxiety.
Well, U.S. is #1 for stress and anxiety. I mean, we're like, we win.
Yeah.
We win in stress and anxiety. And I think we tend to be quick with the medicating anxiety, because I do think I agree with that. Not all, obviously, but a lot of them is something that we can kind of cope with ourselves and try to train our brains to kind of switch. So I find that fascinating, that that's basically what he's doing, is trying to get people to kind of switch their thinking and
helping with mindset, you know, being able to really help switch the mindset. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But for some people, it takes a little extra time than others.
Exactly.
And so
it's not as easy for everybody.
Yeah.
When you
started, by the way?
Huh?
Have we started?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're on. We've been on.
We're always on.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, that's great.
We're chatting it up.
Oh, good.
So if you're just joining us, this is Dr. Chris Smith, chiropractor.
Hello. Good morning, everyone.
So tell me a little bit more about the breathing suggestions that you have for coping and through this.
Yeah. So I did put a list together of some of the things that I was going to talk about to help kind of handle with some of the anxiety and stress. Some of the breathing techniques, you know, that you can go ahead and use is, you know, you try to find where's your most relaxing room in the house, right? Is it the room where you have your kids screaming and yelling, or is it in your bedroom? You know, find your most relaxing area, because that'll definitely help make a difference in terms of you going ahead and kind of get into your Zen mode. So again, what I recommend is going ahead and initially at least trying like a 4-second cadence type of breathing. All right. So think about your breath right now that you're taking. All right. Is it short? Is it shallow? Or is it deep? All right. So you can do this with me. Take a deep breath in and out. That felt pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
And so with breathing, with that respiration, remember, you're able to go ahead and you're able to help produce some of these endorphins that are just going to go ahead and make you feel good. That's the whole runner's high, right? The same exact thing, you know, this breathing. So if you're able to go ahead and help produce that naturally, just by you sitting here, I mean, it doesn't cost anything. How cool is that? You don't have to go buy anything at all. You can train yourself how to breathe. And again, what are some of the breathing techniques? One, like a 4-second cadence. Okay. So you go ahead, you focus on your breath, breathing in 4 seconds and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, this type of breathing can go ahead. It clearly takes everybody out of what their normal realm is, right? With us being a society where we go, it's fast, right? It's quick. What are we doing? Short, shallow breathing.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. So we have to we have to go ahead and help prevent that from happening and be able to get those endorphins kicking and actually get those chemicals in the brain that's going to make you feel good, you want to go ahead, you want to do your best in terms of having this type of breathing pattern where you could train yourself each and every day, because the goal is to get you to the point where you could do this naturally without you really having to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is something that Dr. Mike, he trains people on over at the office with doing. So, but it is very calming. Yeah. So, I mean, just with the two of us, just taking one breath like we just did, that felt great, didn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's
so the more oxygen you go ahead and you get into your body, the better off, you're going to go ahead and feel it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's one of the many ways to go ahead in terms of with the breathing, a 4-second cadence, breathing in and out. And then by you going ahead and being able to continue to count that, whatever your stressor is, whatever is creating that anxiety, you'll go ahead and you will start to forget about it. I mean, if you think about it, you go ahead and you do this about 15 deep breaths in, deep breath out with a 4-second cadence for each, in and out. You'll go ahead and whatever it was that was really getting you going, whatever it could be, whether it's the children, the husband, whatever it is, you'll be able to go ahead and be able to overcome whatever that situation or issue is, again, at least for that period of time with just deep breathing. And breathing is very, very important. So if you're able to go ahead and change that, you'll be able to go ahead and help decrease some of that anxiety and then also too some of that stress.
Yeah, I think we all need it right now at times. Right?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I mean, with like I think we were talking about before, with patients that are coming into the office, I know that many of them are very, very, very concerned, and fortunately, at our office, it's a very safe environment. We do everything we can to go ahead and make sure everything's nice and shiny, and keep it nice and clean. Something we recently just did was we actually put plexiglass there at the front for my staff. Keeping them nice and safe. We want to make sure that they're comfortable too coming into work, because clearly if they're not comfortable coming into work, people are going to recognize that, right?
Yeah.
And that'll just build the stress that much more. So,
I saw Jewel actually did that.
Yeah.
They put the plexiglass
right
over the registers, which is nice.
It was a great move. I mean, going ahead and doing whatever we can to help prevent the spread is key. And unfortunately, with I don't know how many cases, I didn't see it this morning, how many cases are current here in Plainfield, but obviously I heard about the 6 that we did have. And so, we just we gotta make sure that we do everything we can to be precautious, or cautious, I meant to say, making sure that we go ahead and if you have availability to even having a mask, which isn't too readily available, as if you go out and you do certain things, it's not a bad idea. There's a lot of people who still don't wear it. I think it's probably due to the fact that it hasn't hit our area that hard yet. It's here. You will see it continue to grow. It's gonna happen, but you just want to make sure everyone overcomes this, this virus. So, but let's go ahead and continue. Let's talk about some more things to help, decrease stress and anxiety. So, again, like I just talked about, first off, how I wanted to start this was to talk about stressors to begin with, right? So we get stressed, and what happens? Your body pumps all this cortisol in your, all through you. It's all this chemical. And so through that, you're going ahead and all of a sudden you're in this fight and flight response. Go, 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 right? Which unfortunately, so many of us are already. I mean, prior to this even happening, so many of us were already in that chronic fatigue stage. We were already there. So this just kind of makes everyone spill over, into another category of stress and anxiety. So, we got to go ahead. We have to try to decrease all this cortisol that's in the body. Cortisol is not bad because we need it when we're running from a dog or a lion, whatever the case is. I brought a lion because I recently my wife introduced me to this show called Tiger King or whatnot. So funny. Anyway, fight or flight response is ultimately what I'm talking about. And so with going ahead and that just firing all the time, we have to find a way to shut it down, because you do need to go ahead and you have to have some relaxation. As if it's always going, we start getting what we call adrenal fatigue. And then as soon as that starts to happen, this is where the cascade of events start to happen in terms of a snowball of anxiety, depression, and in turn, starts just ruining your health internally altogether. So what are some things that we can do? We talked about the deep breathing, very, very big. That works extremely well. Aromatherapies can help. So that's another really good one. Aromatherapy. I know there's many people out there that use it. It works. I can't tell you about all the studies that have been done. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. It works really well. The lavender and that, I mean, just everyone, they get nice and relaxed. There's a reason why, some people try to go ahead and have certain bushes next to, if their room's on the main level, to have a bush that's right next to their window. Open that puppy up during the springtime, and all of a sudden they're so relaxed, right? But again, that's something right there where there's different aromas that you can go ahead and use that can help with going ahead and decreasing your stress level as well. Another thing I recommend too is sleep. Wow, who would have thought, right? When we sleep, we go ahead, we produce these neurotransmitters in our body that help with rebuilding tissue and just in general, kind of put your body back in neutral so you can get ready for the next day. So, what's adequate amount of sleep? Well, adequate's at least 6 to 8 hours. Some people don't reach it. And, because of that, they're going to, unfortunately, that stress is going to kind of just build like a mountain. It's going to keep building. So you got to go ahead and you got to try your best to get adequate amount of sleep. Now, there's certain supplements that are out there that can help that I recommend. With these supplements, again, I'm not telling anyone out there to go ahead and take these. I don't know what everyone's condition or case is, but some things that are out there in the general public and, that you can go ahead and take. One's melatonin. Okay. For patients who say they get groggy and tired from taking that, there's other substitutes. You have tryptophan, right? Everyone remembers the turkey during Thanksgiving time. Yeah, exactly. There you go. We got that chemical right there, tryptophan. So that right there too can help with, again, restful sleep, not restless sleep. And then another one that my first supplement I always recommend for patients is actually is magnesium. Yeah, magnesium, it works so well. It helps with over 300 different processes in the body. And so because of that, it really helps with with restless sleep. So if you take an adequate amount of that, you can actually help combat it, and again, these are typically for individuals who, they have stress, they have things they think about at night that kind of keep them up. But, I try to do my best to go ahead and go the route of everything that's considered more natural first. And then from there, move them into, if they need to go ahead and see their primary care for other type of medications to help with their, issues with lack of sleep. So everyone has their, some people just say, hey, just give me whiskey or or whatnot to help.
As well, if I've had too many glasses of wine, it's like
just knock you right out, right?
No, it doesn't. Like if I have like 1 or 2 glasses, but if I have like a third glass, then I don't sleep nearly as well as if I just have one.
No, that's true. I feel like if I have a couple of glasses, I'm fine and I sleep pretty good. But if I have too much, then I don't sleep. I end up waking up at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it could do that too. Yeah, restful. Remember, restful sleep's what we're looking for. So to be able to get that too, what are some other things that can kind of get us there? In terms of also, decreasing the stress level. I'm going down my list here. So we said sleeping 6 to 8 hours. Now, again, right now you have many of these high school students, college students, they're getting their 12 to 14 hours of sleep maybe.
Yeah. That's not good either, right?
No, it's too much. And this is why their circadian rhythm's thrown way off. And so, you go to bed at 4 or 5 in the morning, which again, these are patients I'm talking to that are that young, they're in that age between middle school all the way up through college. And they're telling me they're going to bed around that time, whether they're gamers or they're just, into reading that early in the morning or whatnot. I'm not sure, but they go ahead and they stay up that late. And that's the reason why they crash. And then mom and dad are asking, what's going on? It's 10, it's 12 o'clock. Why are you not up yet? Unfortunately, they went to bed extremely late. And, because of that just, it throws everything off. Everyone's system right now is thrown off with what's been going on.
Yeah, Francesca says she's got lots of friends sleeping till like 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Exactly.
But she's like sleeping, like she's going to bed at like 10, and then she's getting like, she's still not up yet. So she's definitely getting like a little too much sleep.
Yeah, with you throwing off your circadian rhythm. This is exactly what you'll see. It'll go ahead, it'll affect everything, especially too. You got to have some priorities set in place too. Remember before all the kids had structure, right?
Yeah.
Get up at this time, get to school, boom, 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 and then you got the rest of your day to do what you wanted. Now, where's the structure at? right? I mean, unless there's actually a plan set forth, like the e-learning, if that's working, they could take advantage, obviously, of doing that and getting it done and getting their schoolwork done and whatnot. But I'm gonna tell you right now, from personal experience, I always thought online learning was so much harder. Why? Because you got to combat everything else around you that, you know, you're not in that setting of sit there, listen, and get your work done, right?
Right.
Now you have this going on and that going on. Oh, and Timmy and Johnny are getting a hold of me. So I wonder what's going on with them. It's like you're not focused. So it's just they gotta get that focus back, because that's
a good point. We don't really start online learning until next week is when there's the school district supposed
Right, because this week is spring break.
Nice.
That's a good thing to consider as we start moving toward that, because you know the chances of this going longer than we think pretty high.
Yeah.
But setting aside time that is specific and devices are not part of the dynamic of school, I think it's important.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard because I would say for me, like I do very well sitting and learning at home, but I'm in an office and I don't have a bunch of stuff happening. If my phone's alerting and all that stuff's going on, then it is a little bit more difficult. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said the breathing, aromatherapy, sleep. What else? Anything?
Yeah. Acupuncture. That's another one. Now, the first few I talked about, those are things you could do on your own. And actually one more, I'll get into acupuncture in just a minute. Let's actually go to eating healthy foods. Okay. Let's go to that one. Because two, remember your diet, I always tell everyone what you consume, what you eat, that's like your medication. That's what gets you running. That's what gets you going. You know, if you eat junk food, what happens? You get a junk body. That's just how it is. You know, you feel lethargic, you feel tired. You go ahead and you have, you know, carbs. I wonder why I'm so tired all the time. You know, it's just, you get that sugar high there. So it's so important to go ahead and make sure that you have a well-balanced diet. I always recommend, and again, in the past, I used to do amateur bodybuilding. So for me, at one point, I was on point with my diet. You always had a starch, you always had a protein, and you always had some type of vegetable. So those right there, I mean, depending on what kind of look you're going for, that is. If you're going for a lean look, that's definitely the way to go. It seems to be a little more like ketogenic. If that's not the look you're looking for, then obviously eat whatever else you like. But, you know, when it comes to going ahead and consuming carbs, you got to think about what kind of.
I think my bodybuilding days have passed. At that.
I don't think I'm going to get into it now. What starches do you recommend?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so you probably heard of some of these. One is quinoa. Awesome, right? Really good ancient grain, really good. I like that it has the carbs, but it has a decent amount of protein in it as well. I found out that one of my kids is gluten intolerant. So we also have gluten-free noodles that we get from Aldi, right? Aldi, I guess, they got voted to have like the most natural / gluten-free, I don't know, like in terms of what they're able to go ahead and get there at their store. Supposedly they have the best selection compared to even Meyer and Jewel. Surprisingly, I found that out.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love Aldi.
So, I mean, that's not a bad idea to go ahead and,
right.
That's where I go ahead and get those things. So, I mean, it works out really well. They got noodles that are made out of different types of beans, out of different, what else? Yeah. I mean, it's just a little bit of everything. I didn't pull them all out for you. Sorry. but yeah, they got a good selection. But again, what else? So I say quinoa, sweet potatoes. Oh my gosh. So much nutrition. So much nutrition. So good. Russet potatoes. So good. Right? Brown rice, wild rice. I mean, those are some good carbs right there. Now again, how much? Well, again, that all depends.
Little. Right, Melissa?
Right? I say these things are healthy, and then what happens? All of a sudden, they gob up my dad, for example, was hilarious. I told him, if you're going to eat nuts, the healthiest nut that's out there, I go, that we see is an almond. And I go, almond is high in omega-3s and low in omega-6s and omega-9s. I'm like, it's perfect. Oh my gosh, sits down, here's a bag. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, I wonder why you got a stomach ache.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Now I've been guilty. I can't admit I did that before too, but oh my goodness. Yeah. It's like, you can't have that much. That's for sure.
2 tablespoons.
There you go. I get it. 1 handful, not 20. All right. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So yeah, eating, yeah, really good. Lean meats, lean meats, chicken, fish, that's chicken, fish, lean meats such as, like, when it comes to your red meat, if you choose to eat that, then sirloin or filet mignon. Those are your sirloin's obviously a lot more affordable, so I'd recommend that over filet. But obviously, it depends on what you're hungry for.
Mm-hmm.
Your porterhouse, your ribeyes. I mean, unfortunately, they have a lot more fat around them. So because of that, you're gonna obviously have more fat in that diet. So I always recommend leaner meats. Those are the best ones too, and they're the most expensive, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
They are.
So this is the way for you to save money. So those are some of the meats that you can go ahead and consume. And then when it comes to vegetables, I mean, you want to consume a lot, everything that's out there really, vegetable wise is healthy for you. Obviously, extremely healthy. What are some of your more dense, vegetables? You got kale, you got broccoli, you got the ones that I would personally recommend though, if you don't want to experience gas, because unfortunately a lot of people do experience this, where they go ahead and consume broccoli and they're really gassy. Why are they gassy? You can't break down the sugar. So because you can't break it down, now you feel bloated. Mm-hmm. And now you feel uncomfortable, and your brain's telling you the same thing. And you're just like, I just don't want to do anything, right? You just want to be mopey and lay around and just pass gas the whole time. It's just to be comfortable.
Not me, Rhonda. We don't ever have.
No, never. Nope, never happens to us.
So what I would say is that, try to eat vegetables that don't produce that type of gas, such as asparagus, spinach, peas. These are very healthy vegetables that can go ahead and not give you gas, which is kind of nice.
Well, I love kale and broccoli. Like, I love both of those things.
Delicious. They're so good. But I notice when it comes to individuals, and the reason why I bring up specific with everybody is because we do have a diet nutrition program at our office. And so, with me personally, my experience of also too, what I've felt with eating all these different types of vegetables, like I know what will go ahead and create me to have some bloating and some gas, and I know what won't. And I just obviously am more comfortable going to stuff that I know my body can break down. So, those right there, like I said, they work really, really well. Because, here's the thing. You go to a physician and they say, eat healthy, just eat healthy. What does that mean?
Right.
Like, what's healthy? Yeah, okay, vegetables are healthy. But, I mean, if you feel uncomfortable eating something that's healthy, what happens? You don't eat it anymore, right? Exactly. So I try to go ahead and give everyone some free advice on specific vegetables and food that's out there that take advantage of it, and try it. See if it works for you. And if it does, use it. If it doesn't, well, then you could try another one. There's so many.
I have found those, part of the reason why, when I do cauliflower, broccoli, it makes me
Brussels sprouts, kale,
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, all those, and I love all of those things.
Yeah, I love them. But if I don't buy a lot, if I buy like smaller sizes of things, then I don't eat them for several days, because you don't want your food to go bad. So then you're eating broccoli for like 3 days, and then you feel awful. Like a lip, like you gotta mix up the colors and what's on your plate over the course of the week, rather than like eating broccoli for 5 days.
That's right. Yeah, it helps. I mean, and too, I know in the past, stuff I was reading on how it's cooked could make a difference as well. I mean, I don't know. I've tried it. I still felt the same, but like you said, quantity does matter how much you consume. I mean, if you're eating a couple heads of broccoli and it could be painful.
Kick you out.
So moving forward, let's see. We talked about the protein. We talked about the vegetable. We talked about the starch, the potatoes and that. So I think we covered basically everything in regards to what's, a good balanced diet. If you can go ahead and kind of go between all those lines I just gave you, you'll be able to do really well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, again, this is all going back to helping decrease stress and anxiety and things like that. If you have a good diet, guess what? You're going to feel better overall. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, eating some of these, I call it clean foods, you're going to recognize you're going to feel much better.
That's true.
Yeah. So moving forward from there, let's go ahead. Let's talk about exercise. Yeah, exercise, another great tool, right? We got to go ahead. We got to get it. If you got a kettlebell at the house, throw it around. You know, I mean, there you go. If you got bands, TheraBands, workout bands, use them. It's like now's the time with all these things that we have at the office or at the house that we never use.
Mhm.
Boom, now it's the time to use it. That's the thing. So I recommend anyone out there who has equipment, start using it. You know, don't hurt yourself. But I mean, good form, good posture. Make sure you're using your equipment because you know, obviously you got to keep moving. If you stop moving, you become a potato on the couch. Unfortunately, you're going to feel that way too.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
keep up with that
That's
motion.
why I make sure the kids are moving. I'm like, okay, gotta get some kind of activity in today.
That's exactly it. I mean, and some people actually are fearful to go outside and go for a run. You know, I mean, you can still do that.
I've heard that. Like,
because they're thinking that, you know, they don't have a big grasp obviously on the virus, and so because of that, some people are afraid just to go outside. You know, if you're that fearful, just cover your mouth as you're out there going for your run. You know, myself, I still keep running. I just, you know, it's important. I got to keep that cardio going, you know, I got to keep moving.
And I think it's so good for your brain.
yeah,
It helps me stay balanced in my head more than anything.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
We talked about those beta endorphins. Those are pumping. When you go ahead and you get that jog in, that run or the lift, I mean, man, they're just pumping through your body. You feel good. So
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe you feel good. Maybe you don't, but you feel good after.
Oh,
Right,
right. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's great. These patients that come into the office that tell me, I hate Orange Theory. I hate, or even over at the Y, like I hate working out these classes. And then all of a sudden, you know, they're at the end of their conversation, they go, "Oh God, I love how I feel after I'm done." I'm like,
oh yeah,
true.
It's true.
It is true.
So I'm sorry.
But we should probably wrap things up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh gosh.
No.
Yeah.
No,
I'm sorry.
okay.
I could talk forever, you guys. I honestly have like 5 more things on my list to rattle off, but I'm not kidding you.
Let's rattle them off. I'm writing down. I have notes.
Oh, okay. Another one, you know, going back to stress release, I was going to say, you know, prayer is another really good one, you know, going ahead and, you know, having good prayer. I mean, you doing that too, you're able to go ahead. I mean, mentally, emotionally, you're able to go ahead and do a lot. So prayer is another great one. Making a list, being organized, making a list of what you want to accomplish throughout your week, throughout your day. You know, structure is key. If you don't have structure, you just kind of, just flow around. So going ahead and making sure you write a list. And what I always do when I write my list, just so I can feel really good, you know what I do first? The very first thing on the list is write list. That's what I put. Check. Boom. Once right? Yes. I was so excited.
God,
I get to check it. You feel accomplished, you know? Another thing is talking with people, just making sure you go ahead and you keep that social connection through FaceTime, Zoom, what we're doing right now, you know, being able to do that, that's definitely key. You know, if you're alone and you don't have anyone to talk to, you know, you're just talking to yourself, that can create some issues. You feel depressed, you feel sad. So talking to people, seeing people smile, I mean, that's really exciting. It feels good. Biofeedback, that's what Dr. Mike does. So that was another thing that I had here. And then lastly, chiropractic care. Again, through you going ahead, an individual comes into my office, right? They're in pain, or maybe they're not in pain. Maybe they want to go ahead and enhance their performance or whatnot. A lot of these individuals have that fight or flight response. Go, 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 go. When you have pain, again, that's heightened too. So how do we help turn down the noise is what I say. We turn down the noise. When we do a chiropractic adjustment manipulation, the chemical reaction in the body, we produce those beta endorphins, which in turn, you're able to go ahead and you feel better. So either of you ever wonder why after an adjustment, you know, a patient's like, whoa, yes, you know, I can move. We take away that noise. We take pressure off nerves. We do those things where we help decrease edema, swelling, tightness, and then through that, you're able to feel better and better. So, you know, by going ahead and keeping up with your regular treatment, it does help. Yeah, definitely. So that is majority of the information I have. I could go into greater detail of each and every one of those, but we don't have time today. Sorry. Guys, I didn't know we had a timeline. I apologize.
No worries.
No, you're fine.
Oh,
I ideas. These are great.
Yeah, that's all good stuff for everybody to
Consider. For
hear.
sure. So are you seeing patients that you already have existing care plans for, or are you accepting new patients?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Currently right now so I'm open Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I do actually, I do have patients who still work, the labor workers, people are still coming in. So we work from 10 a.m. to 3, but myself, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But myself, I'll come in late hours between 5:30 to 6:30 to go ahead and treat patients then too. So I get to also see those evening patients that, unfortunately, are severe cases. I had a patient come in yesterday, 12 out of 10. She was in really bad shape. And remember, the purpose of the chiropractic profession right now is to go ahead and keep patients who are in severe pain like this out of the hospital. The state or the governor has asked us to go ahead and take on that role to go ahead and prevent individuals to being exposed from going to the hospital. So it's like, we're trying to do our best to play our role. Some chiropractors are still working right now. Some choose not to. But I want to be a part of, of being able to help. Someone suffering in pain, I want to be able to help them and get them out of pain and not expose them to going to the hospitals. I mean, we got a couple positive cases here in Plainfield, obviously Shorewood, Joliet. You keep hearing about it. So their hospitals are starting to fill up now. And due to that, it's like, this is now where we need to step up the best that we can to be able to go ahead and help these patients stay away from the hospital if possible, to not get that exposure. So I'm trying to do my part in helping everyone I can, and just, continue to move forward and keep everyone obviously as healthy as we possibly can. So yeah, we're doing everything we can to be able to help.
Good. Well, we appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
But any more questions for me?
I don't think so. Ron, you have any more questions? I don't think I do. So you're there Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
You guys are the best.
You are taking new patients?
Yes, we are. Yeah, correct. We are. So what I didn't tell you is that I come in early and then I stay late. So even though I tell you between 10 and 3, that's typically our patient base who, again, have a treatment plan or are in a lot of pain. Yeah. But new patients I'll see between 9 and 10, and then also between 3 and 4. Okay. And it just to be able to go ahead and, unfortunately, there's still a lot of people out there that are suffering in pain. And again, like I said, we're trying to do our part to be able to help them. We get a lot of phone calls. We definitely do. And yeah.
Tell us your phone number for the office.
Our number is 815-436-7260. Again, Plainfield Chiropractic. We're the only chiropractor actually that's downtown Plainfield, on the corner of James and Lockport Street. Again, yeah, we're there to go ahead and help.
He's treating my daughter, and he's done a great job with her. So.
Oh, she's a great patient. She's a great patient. Yes,
well,
indeed.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate you joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, you guys. Have a great morning.
You too.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. My dad says joining MaverickRx is stress reducing.
That's awesome.
Yay.
I love it.
Right. You guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.
Bye. Bye, Chris. So we're going to wrap it up with our prayer.
Yep. I appreciate you guys watching today. And if you have any questions, Rhonda and I've worked with Chris for several years. He's a great doctor. If you do need a chiropractor here in Plainfield, he is the chiropractor that we would recommend.
Totally.
He always has a fix of some kind.
And he's always a ray of sunshine too.
He really is. He really is. All right. So today we're praying for the folks that have been touched by coronavirus, by COVID-19.
Yes.
As we kind of get into this a little bit more, we find that there are some folks that we know, coming down with this illness.
Meredith's friends' husbands on the ventilator in the ICU. So we need to
lifting him up.
Lift them up in prayer. Mm-hmm. And of course, all of our loved ones that we worry about.
Yeah.
Our parents and grandparents.
Healthy. And if you have any prayer requests you'd like us to add to our own prayers, Ron and I pray, as we have always said, all day long. Right. So let us know that. And Ron is going to share with us today from Jesus Calling.
No, the prayer. I'm doing the prayers to share now.
The prayers to share.
I switched.
switched it up.
So it says big picture, and it's capital IGBOK. It's gonna be okay. Little picture, AFSBA. A few speed bumps ahead.
Mhm.
My prayer, TYFOTBP. That you'll focus on the big picture. And then it's a verse from Hebrews. Let us hold on to the confession of our hope without wavering, for he who promised is faithful. And then it says, when you are experiencing the challenges of life, perspective is everything.
Mhm.
So I just feel like that's kind of a good one. So
It is a good one. I think our perspective is helping us get through.
that's right.
And leaning on each other and God is really, I think, the only way we can get through it. So if you do find that you're having a rough day, reach out and we're happy to chat.
I'm always happy to chat.
Yeah, Rhonda loves talking. She loves talking. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Tomorrow morning, 8:15, we will have a nurse joining us.
Yes.
So that will be
Our friend.
my friend Jen Bars is going to be coming on. So we're going to hear from her tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful day. Rhonda, you too. I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning.
Bye.
Bye. End.